It's a pleasure to be here, and yes, again, the concern has been that while PPPs has been and remains a valid instrument to pursue the infrastructure gap that most countries have, they have remained vulnerable to the issue of renegotiations, which somehow steals away a fair amount of the expected value of the PPPs. By now we have over 6,000 or 7,000 PPPs around the world, and we have done it for something like 25 years. So I did look at the evolution of the PPP market, particularly under the negotiations. The main message that come up is that, again, renegotiation has been a critical issue and have increased significantly throughout the 2010. The good news, at least relatively speaking, is that finally the governments have taken control and have been concerned about the problematic of negotiations, and they're beginning to take a set of measures, and it's beginning to show in the numbers in terms of the reduction of renegotiations. Yet they remain significantly high, and more clearly needs to be done. Again, it is perceived to be a very valid instrument, but what we cannot really expect is that most or a fair amount of the value has been taken away again by the issue of negotiations, and that come along throughout either the private sector or even the government. There's definitely a need, to get more transparency in the process. There's definitely a need to clarify the risk assignments and follow through. Governments also need to perceive the threat of renegotiation and to somehow develop instruments so they can credibly commit to renegotiations, at least on the average. That doesn't mean that, again, on occasion, negotiation will take place because some of them are efficient and win-win. But the views that that instrument has been subject to in the last 20 years, again, that definitely needs to diminish significantly. For that, the countries are taking measures that have to do with imposing a clause in the legislation where no modification of the contract ought to affect the risk matrix assignment, that aggressive bids as they are perceived would be subject to scrutiny and they can be taken away, and that they will be assisted by parallel experts somehow to relieve some comfort on these decisions that are politically difficult and sometimes can be misunderstood by opportunities for corruption. In average, I do think that finally we're moving forward. Definitely more efforts needs to be taken place so as that the perceived benefits of PPP are finally be realized and then can reach what they call maturity. Unfortunately, we cannot talk about a PPP market having reached a maturity where it's well accepted by all parties. The processes are reasonably agile and smooth, and the number of projects which are being delivered somehow it's along the needs and volume of the country. That still is a pending subject. Countries, again, are moving forward in that direction, so hopefully, again, by the next round, we should be able to somehow confirm that, again, we're getting there.